Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of On Caffeine and a Prayer. I'm Glory.
I'm Wendell.
And I'm Myron. Um, so I'm gonna start it off with how was everybody's week?
Ups and downs, valleys and peaks,
Mm.
ebbs and flows. I mean, you get the good with the bad, and overall, we're still here.
Facts. That's life.
Yep.
Yeah. My week was not great, but I'm alive, so that's something to look up to. I have a great partner. And I just got to keep trucking on because life just gonna do what it has to do.
Life's
So,
gonna life.
yep.
Absolutely.
I think my week was good except for today. It was really hectic. Of course, the day that we're filming is really hectic. But overall, like Wendell said, it's ups and downs,
Yeah.
ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
So, um, what are we talking about today? We're talking about work-life balance.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
There's a lot that can be said about that.
Oh, yeah,
Oh yeah.
definitely.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been looking forward to this conversation because I have so many questions to run by y'all.
Try to be honest.
Um, well, let me ask this one just to start us off. What do y'all define as a good work life balance? I'm not saying you have it, but what do you define as a good work life balance?
I would say a good work-life balance would be something that doesn't burn you out. I would say you enjoy your job. Obviously you work hard at your job, but it's not something that's gonna, take you away from the important things in life like family and missing important days, missing important monumental occasions in your life. So just trying to find that balance. I mean, I know it's in the word itself, but just trying to find a middle ground, I would say.
Mm.
So you won't miss too much because, your work can't be your identity and your work can't be everything about you. Like when they look up your name, the first thing they should see is your job.
Mm.
Wow, Wendell, that's Wendell said two heavy things.
Yeah, he did.
Especially the one about it shouldn't burn you out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's judging me, but okay.
Honestly, I thought that was what might have been for me. But for me, I think a good work-life balance is definitely about time management.
For sure.
Um, so knowing when to like how to map out your day. Like everyone knows, like, calendars, but making sure that you know when to walk away from certain things and when to keep trucking on. So just having that understanding of this is important, but if I feel like I'm investing so much time that it's draining me as a person, then I need to step back, knowing when to like pull back. Um, so
But isn't that easier said than done?
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
most
yeah,
definitely.
definitely. I think for me, had to learn that the hard way throughout my journey, like my school and career, or whatever. Because I think like my second year, I definitely burned out. Like I was going to work at odd hours. I was there like 5 a.m. in the morning. I was literally like it was so bad. It was actually awful. So yeah, it's harder. It's easier said than done, but you want to be careful that you don't get to a place where you're just completely, like he said, burnt out. So you got to find it.
I think for me, I'm still discovering what that definition is.
Mm,
I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
gonna lie, which I said gives a lot of clarity on what it should be,
yeah.
but and it's funny how you guys both mentioned burnout.
Mm,
Like I think that's probably the telltale sign that you haven't been balancing things
For
for
sure.
sure.
the right way. But let me say this: do you feel like you c- you could have it skewed in the other direction, where like because I hardly ever hear anybody say, "Oh, I'm putting life before work."
Yeah.
But
Mm.
do you think it's possible? I'll tell you, for me, I think it's possible just because Um, I think it shows up in your work when you're putting in life, and
Yeah.
sometimes it there are legitimate things that you have to put life. Your family, your
Mhm.
loved ones, your personal health. You have to put before it. But then there's some times where it's like, oh no, I'm running late because I stayed up
Oh yeah,
at this Chris Brown Usher.
you have to
No judgment.
prioritize.
At this Chris Brown Usher concert.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you gotta prioritize for sure.
No, it definitely, like, I agree with you. It can get to, there can be an overcorrection that could happen when you're trying to find that balance. Um, but honestly, I feel like it's a process, right? Like you said, you're trying to find the happy medium,
Mhm.
right? You don't want to be on either extreme. So it's a process. You have to define what works for you as a person, because what works for one don't might not necessarily work for me. So it's definitely just learning yourself, your work ethic, your work style, and like how you process whatever it is, whatever job it is that you're working, and finding that nice happy medium. Not everyone gets there. We're all striving to get there. So it's a process.
It's funny you said what works for Wendell may not work for you. So let's help our audience out. What works for like Wendell? What works for you?
In terms of trying to find that balance,
Hmm.
that's a good question. Um, I would say, I mean, like you said, just prioritizing and just understanding what's important because I feel like you get so caught up in trying to chase achievements, you get so caught up in trying to chase a status at the expense of your loved ones, at the expense of, missing out on certain things. Not like a Chris Brown or Usher concert, like you said, but but just like, family occasions or, friends or loved ones and just identifying what's important to you. I would say in terms of finding that balance. And I would say it's something that I still struggle with to this day, trying to find the balance is whether it's my calling or not. Because, you may like it because it's something that appeals to you, but what if it's not the calling that God has for you? And trying to
Mm.
identify that in your balance. So when it comes to that, I try to identify whether I'm running a path that's assigned to me or, you know, whether I'm just putting all that or my perspective of what I think I should be doing in work in terms of, what I prefer, whether I'm putting that in front of the important things in my life.
I didn't know Wendell was gonna be this deep for this episode. I didn't know you
I'm literally, I'm looking at him as he's answering. I'm like, dude,
that's good.
Yeah, I mean that's the first thing that came to my
What
mind.
works for you, Glory?
me? Okay, so I praise God for Lent. I I used to, I definitely was working 7 days a week. Um,
7 days a week.
7 days. Yeah, there are times where I would be literally in lab before church, timed it so that my experiment runs during church, and I'll go right back
Yeah,
to
that's
get
that's
it.
too much.
Yeah,
So
I
like
was
what
trying.
works for me, because no, for Lent, I was like, I would not be working on the weekends. That's no, we need to get back into, a better rhythm. So what works for me is making sure like I don't go to work on the weekends. And even if I do, it's for like 30 to 45 minutes. We're not spending hours in the lab.
So what am I supposed to do? I work on the weekends.
Yeah, but what about the weekdays?
Yeah, that's true. Well, that is true. I will say one thing that I had to learn is because I don't have traditional work time frames,
Hmm.
Hmm.
it's very easy for 7 days a week to creep in.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you have, if you work Monday through Friday, you got a clear mark of weekends is, and for me, it was kind of
Hmm.
like, well, and listen, y'all, that's why it's important to have a spouse and a partner that will call you to the carpet.
Mm.
Because my wife would be like, "Oh, so you just gonna work the whole week?"
Cool.
And I'd be like, "Bro, what you talking about?" And then I would think, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, I have been," because for me, um, working full time
Mm.
at a church, and then doing freelance music on the side, I looked at non church times as freelance music times, and then
Oh,
non freelance music times
as
as
church
church.
time.
And then I realized, man, I didn't carve out any
Time for
time.
yourself.
Yeah.
Like, where's the time for you to enjoy life? Definitely agree because I think for me, also, I'm a I'm a student, so I have a little bit more flexibility in my time. So sometimes like, okay, I don't want to go in until like 12 today, but that means I'm staying later, and I'm not coming home early enough, to prepare whatever it is I need to prepare for. So just making sure I set in my head, like, okay, I'm literally going to be working from this time to this time. And if I need to stay a little bit longer, fine, but it's not going to be a continuous thing. It's just a one off thing. And there be times where it's like, oh, I don't want to work to, not that I don't want to work today, but I'm exhausted. I'm going to take the day off because I've been putting in that work. So just knowing like when to rest and when to keep pushing because you can't get more work done if you're not resting. So that's just
You know, I'm gonna have to fact check you because Wendell's here. Is that true, Wendell? Will she do that?
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that last part. She was
Oh
talking so
my
fast.
gosh,
Honestly, I'm just like I'm
bro.
trying to
About
keep up.
her that will she take days off? Because I'm gonna tell you,
Oh yeah, she'll definitely
in
yes,
my house
yes, she
we are
will.
horrible with taking days off.
Oh yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah, sure, sure.
We are, and I admire that, Glory. If you can do that, I especially if a young person can understand. Yo, I'm gonna take this day off because yo, it work stress
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
will take its toll on you.
Yes, it
yeah.
will.
And you've definitely been very emphatic on doing that. Like you've
Yeah.
definitely made it a point to protect your mental with that because there's so many challenges that your work does present on a
Mm-hmm.
day-to-day basis. So yeah, I mean I'm a witness.
Yeah.
And you know, I love that about black women in as a whole because this is a term that black women say in the community, me time.
Oh yes.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I've not mastered that whole and you know what it is for me, and maybe Wendell can help me out. For me as a guy to say me time, it feels selfish.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Why though,
Oh my! When I want to watch the playoffs,
bro?
you want to watch a movie?
Yeah, like it feels like I don't know. I feel like I'm almost in trouble for, and you know what? It could be parental trauma
Mm.
because y'all, I had that mom that if she saw you too comfortable,
Oh,
She gonna make you do
you
something.
gotta find something to do in the house.
Clean
Okay.
the house.
yeah, she'll look at you like you look like you relax a little bit too much. Yeah, go ahead and run a vacuum over this carpet. So it could be just growing up that way, but for me,
Yeah.
just me time, I always feel guilty for
But
taking
then
me time.
how do you refill yourself? Like I feel like we work so much that we're just constantly emptying, emptying, emptying. How do you refill, how do you pour back into yourself if you don't do me time?
Man, Lord, that's a good
Yeah,
That
question.
because you
is a good
can't give
question.
out. you're you don't have unlimited energy to give out.
Lord, that's
Me personally, I think men, in terms of doing that, they just sleep. Honestly,
Sleep.
I think
yo,
people really substitute that
yo,
for
Okay.
sleep.
Sleep.
yo.
It
Is that
shouldn't be
right?
just
Wendell
sleep.
told no lies.
It shouldn't just be sleep.
Oh my
But
gosh.
that's I feel like
That's fair.
they make up for that with sleep.
Sleep.
I I know I make up for it with sleep. Wendell told no lies with that. Sleep is that's how I refill. Because here's the thing: when I wake up, I'm good.
Mm,
Because another thing that and I've always been good as a child with this, all the way to an adult. I don't take what happened the previous day into the
mm,
next day. If
okay.
anything, I treat the next day as a day to rectify it, a day to get over it, a day to, as my dad would say, don't cry over spilled milk,
Milk.
move
Right.
on.
Oh, see, that's hard for someone like me. I'm not speaking on behalf of a gender. Like I'm not doing that. Like for me, it takes me days to get over. Like let's say something bad happened on Monday. I don't think I'm not over it until like probably 2 3 days after.
But why?
that's just I don't know, that's just how my brain like I look at the situation and I'm just picking it apart what I could have done better or how I could have avoided the situation. Like that's where my brain goes. And it takes me a moment to be like, okay, it's happened, you can't change it, you just have to keep pushing. But I do understand sleep. Sleep does help because you're resetting, your body. So I get it. I get sleep, but I need more than sleep.
Yeah, that
That's just
goes
me
for men and
personally.
women. They need more than sleep.
I need more than sleep. Sleep is not enough for
Oh,
me.
listen, I need food, sleep, and sports. I think I'm good.
I need a vacation.
Yeah, I
Yo,
need to
That's what I
travel
need.
yo,
out the country.
and listen, there's something about for me putting my feet in a sandy beach
Mm,
Yes,
that whatever's stressing me, I don't know if the sand is absorbing it or whatever, but
yeah,
after
you
that,
just transfer negative
I'm
energy.
I'm good.
Ah,
yeah, I don't want to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
I think for me that's nature. Like I just being like I like to hike, just being surrounded in stillness. It like gives you perspective on like all the chaos that isn't like in the day to day. So my beach is nature. You?
um, I mean, I'm pretty versatile in terms of hiking. I like going to the beach. Just jogging around in nature.
Mm.
Going on jogs, going on walks.
See, beautiful people. You see why these people look so good? That-
You literally got on me for running.
No, I hate when you run by yourself. It just makes me jealous. But anyways, that's a different topic. Let's keep
I'm
pushing.
so-
Let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing.
no way.
yeah, I mean, exercise, and for me, going to the gym does help
Yeah.
Oh
sometimes.
yeah,
I will go to the gym, listen to a podcast. By the way, guys, subscribe
please.
to
Please.
Caffeine and a Prayer,
We are on
but
all socials.
You
all socials.
y'all know y'all see us too. Don't
but
scroll past us.
but yeah, going to the gym sometimes. Watching TV,
Mm,
and when I
Yes,
say TV, I really just watch sports.
okay.
And one thing that has helped
Mm,
is carving out time where I'm just like, this is TV time. So I have a thing where because my days can run together at 8, I'm gonna go sit on the couch and at least watch
oh, wow.
one episode of something with my wife. You know, we're gonna gripe about what's going on the news or something. So that's my mini beach. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't jog like these people. I need to trust me. I need to, but
You're always
pray for me. I'm
welcome.
gonna get there.
You can always join us on a walk.
So let me ask you this. When it comes to, because Wendell said something very powerful at the beginning,
Yeah.
your identity being wrapped up in your job,
Mm,
is that a sign of poor work life balance, or is that a sign of something else? And the reason I'm asking is because I'm in a different predicament. I can't wait. Looking at Glory and Wendell's face,
it's
I
so
can't wait to
funny.
get. Yeah, I'm in a different predicament where um I don't understand that because my identity as a musician
Mm,
is wrapped up in my job also. So when Wendell mentioned that, it piqued my interest because I'm like, man, I wonder how do you not wrap your identity in your job? So
for sure.
I mean, what's your thoughts?
Like when I think of that, I think of my parents, and how like they have their titles in this community, but it doesn't take away from other aspects of their life.
mm,
Like it doesn't take away my father's ability to be a good husband. It didn't take my father's ability away to be a good father to his children, or a good uncle, or just a good friend, or
mm,
a good colleague. It doesn't take away from those areas.
yeah.
So when I say, detaching your identity from your work, like if you're just known for one thing, then I think it's not really poor work life balance. I would just say it's really a lack of versatility, really.
Mm,
Like just a lack of, adjusting on the fly, a lack of just expanding yourself past what you're comfortable doing, I would say. So I
mm,
always think of my parents in that way because, they hold so many different titles. And growing up, now you start to appreciate how they carried themselves as it pertained to, the different titles that they had to, manage growing up. So
But when I got a good rebuttal, I have to
So
push back before you answer, Gloria.
Okay.
But you may see your dad as that, but everybody sees your dad
for sure.
as past. Like, yeah, I got a story about his dad.
Oh.
One
That should
thing
be
I
interesting.
would never ever do, I'm never ever gonna go to the grocery store with Eric Wendell Lee Senior.
Yep.
I would because yo, I went to this is like some years ago. I went to Publix,
Yeah.
Mm.
and because your dad is so known in the community,
Yes.
it stopped the whole store. Yo, I'm in checkout. Lady, check me out. And she's like, oh no, that's my pastor. That's my pastor. And I'm like, yo, but like, ain't you on the clock? And he's hugging people, talking to them. And I'm
Mm.
like, bruh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
I just
yeah.
came in here for some soup. I'm trying to leave.
Oh
And
yeah.
Sure.
No.
so he's known in the community
Right.
as that. So, is it, do you feel like it's even possible for him to detach himself from that identity?
I mean, I think it's more of like it's a double-edged sword in my opinion. Like, obviously, you have to be attached to that. I mean, he's a pastor, and he put it on. He obviously it's known he's running for Senate now.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be attached to that. But I would say just don't take away from what's really important. Being a good family man, and he's not just known for being a pastor.
Yeah.
He's not just known for being, a man that's running for Senate. He's
Yeah.
known for being a good father, a loving husband.
Mm.
You know, I'm not gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
And
No, no, no.
what's your take on the whole identity being wrapped up?
Okay, before I do that, I want to hop on which was being said about my baba. Okay, because yes, I'm gonna push back on you. What you like, your pushback. This man, he is who he is. He is the pastor, and he is like a well-known figure in the community. But that does not stop him from showing up for his children.
Absolutely.
Oh, but here's the crazy thing. I don't feel like you have to forsake your identity to be good in other areas.
Yeah.
Because my dad's a pastor,
Oh, I
but
didn't know.
yeah, but I know him as daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I like Wendell said, you have to come to that realization that there's gonna be some people all they're gonna see is Pastor
Pastor.
Feltner.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's
So,
true.
and I think my dad is a great dad. I'm gonna be honest. I think Pastor does a great job with the balance. I always say this.
Mm-hmm.
I look at him as a good example of somebody that balances, because this is a big ship
Yeah.
that he runs that
Yes.
balances family,
Yeah.
not just family. He does other things in the community.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, at the end of the day, we still know him as
As pastor.
That's
pastor.
Pastor
Yeah,
Lee,
that's
Reverend
true.
Doctor. Yep.
But you're right. I was just trying to say like he definitely does have. He's learned how to balance his leadership and then his personal because he always makes time for himself. Like that's one thing that he tries to do.
He makes time for himself too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
sure.
for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's just me, y'all. It's just me.
It's needed. Like it's needed. That's what I'm trying to say. Like you have to. Y'all say sleep, but you also have. There are other ways that people refill themselves to be there, in that capacity, especially in the capacity that he's in. Right. He has to always make sure he's filled.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. The whole unwrapping, untangling your identity from your who you are from what you do. It's been a journey for me. Because growing up, no shade, no like, oh, I grew up in a hard household. I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not playing that. But growing up, I was really like I did really well in school. And it's carried over, through every phase in my life. And it just gave me this competitive spirit that if I'm not on the top or if I'm not like fighting to be at the top, then I'm no good.
I
Like
see that
that
driving you too.
like that's something that we're unlearning this behavior. It's a process. Like we've called it out, we've named it, and we're trying to work hard at detaching our who we are from what we do. because I had to really like going into grad school. I had like that mentality could not work. It doesn't work. It didn't work for me, because you know there are so many failures that I am hit with every day when it comes to my work, and that caused me to kind of question like if I'm not good at this, like what am I? Like how am I? Like who
Wow, that yeah. So
like
you do
who
kind of have your identity wrapped in that.
yeah. Yeah. So it was a struggle, you know, because you know I've been doing science for a really long time, and you know I know like failure, but then there's a success part, and it just keeps running.
Mhm.
But like grad school, bruh, that's a different. It's a different land. I was consistently failing, and it was just like it really made me take a step back and reflect on how I see myself and how I view myself. And I'm so grateful for my community and for the people around me because like without their love and pouring into me, I would literally still be feeling like I'm no good slash I like this is who I am. This like what I do is who I am. But I'm starting to branch out and do other things that, you know, fuel me and know and coming to the understanding like that's just a little bit of what I like it's what I do. It's not who I am. So it's a process. We're still working, but I'm glad that we've named it.
Yeah.
And, and we're finding ways to break that because I don't want that to be a part of my journey.
What you
Now
say?
you know
Window
you
got
see
that
us on all
NPR.
social media platforms, so I don't know why you're just scrolling past us. Come on now,
Like windows like
you see us. The
you
subscribe
see
button's
us,
right there.
you hear us. The subscribe button is literally
It's
right
literally
there.
right there.
Yeah.
So let me branch this also to because Glory started hitting on school.
Mm.
Um, so I'll be honest. The reason why I asked earlier about can the work life balance skew the other way, because in college, y'all, I was wilding in college.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first,
To
what's your definition of wildin'?
Yeah, there's
Like,
different
there's
levels.
different levels. I need to know.
There's definitely
uh
some levels to it.
and you see, I can't lie because I may have classmates watching this. I just keep it real. On a scale of 1 to 5, it was like a 4.5. So whatever you equate to, so much so that my grades started suffering because that's when I found out, man, I can't do the 8 o'clock class because
Or
I was at a party till 1:30
uh,
or yeah.
Were you partying during the week on the weekend? The week that honestly that makes sense.
Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all this.
he said statute of limitations, man. What you mean?
I went to
You ain't got
school. I
express.
went to school in Daytona Beach, which is a party town, and
Oh
parties were
my.
happening
Enough said, bro.
all the time.
Oh.
So that's why I asked that because I skewed the whole other way
Yeah.
to the point where I started singing, and I guess that's my point. I think skewing in the other direction, you start to see failure in other aspects of your
For sure.
professional career.
Mm.
But now, just looking at your reactions, first of all, I know with Wendell that wasn't the case. Wendell is so bright. If like Wendell, if I ever found out you was partying, I would less than be upset. I would be impressed that
I,
he was able to accomplish what he accomplished.
I can attest he was partying, y'all.
I wasn't partying like that.
Obviously not.
No.
Or Wendell's much smarter than we give him credit for. If he's able to pull them grades
No,
in party,
I dibble and dabble
you
from
said you did.
everybody.
And first of all, Glory, how did you know he was
Because
partying?
I
That's
was right there. What do you
okay.
mean?
Hey,
We a team.
we putting these narratives out there, man. That's crazy.
So I guess this makes me ask the question to even college students or people in undergrad,
Mm,
how do you want them to view work life balance? Because for me, I also went to school with some people that was like, I'm gonna do is do school and work because I'll have that time later
mm,
to like I have a friend, we're still friends to this day. She was like, oh, I'm a party later.
mm.
Y'all have fun, but I'm a party later.
Yeah.
And she meant once I get out of grad school and all of that, then I can enjoy. So what do you for a college student or whatever, or even a person that's going to grad school,
Yeah.
how do you expect them to approach that work life balance?
Ooh, you got it first, babe.
Okay. Thank you. Um, I think it's all dependent on the person, honestly, because there are things that one individual has the capacity for that it's just not gonna fly with another person. For instance, like I'm just gonna use as an example because I know our habits. Wendell, first semester was a bit rough,
Yeah,
right?
it was
Yes,
terrible.
first semester was a bit rough. And that kind of got him like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not doing nothing. I'm just study, 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 study,
Almost
study.
like overcorrecting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. But for me, I was still partying on the weekends though. The weekends, the week, that was for school.
Glory, that was long ago, so we're over it.
I'm not. No, 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 no. I'm just saying, like, if like for that balance, I think like it's okay to blow off a little steam, but just make sure like you're not. It's not so much. You're not. I don't say going wild, but like you plan it at a time where you're still able to rest and come back prepared for what you're at school for. You know. So weekend partying, I think those are great. Even sometimes if there's Labor Day and there's a darty, go ahead, do it, have fun.
Well, what
A darty, a day
A
party.
date?
is that a real term?
I
Yeah.
guess it is
I mean,
now.
I might be
I
old, but
guess it
like that's what
is.
we used to call it.
God, Glory just made up a term. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead, a darty.
A
It's
darty,
a term
yeah, a
now.
day party. But no, like just make sure you have time to recuperate
For
because
sure.
you're gonna have to focus in class in order
Right.
to, successfully graduate. So I think like that's a great way to balance. Like, and there are some individuals who that's not their thing, and that's okay, but they have other ways in which they let off steam. Some people like to run, some people like to swim, some people just like to go find a nice quiet place to read a book. Like explore, find new things, try new things, um, find new hobbies, make candles, paint, whatever floats your boat. So it's just dependent on the person and the capacity that you yourself can handle. So
Yeah, I definitely echo that same sentiment. Just knowing yourself, really, just
mhm.
knowing your own limits, and just having a keen sense of self awareness.
Yeah.
For me, I like she said, I definitely overcompensated for my first
Mhm.
semester, and it was to the point where teammates walked up to me like, "Bro, you tripping, bro?" They walk up to me in the library like, "Come on, man, you got to get
Yeah.
out tonight." But yeah, just knowing yourself and just understanding what's important, and just understand that there is a balance that you can definitely, enjoy life, but at the same time understand the bigger picture of why you're there.
Mm.
So
Um,
did you ever find? Would you say you ever found that balance after you overcorrected,
Oh
or
yeah.
when I started dating Glory,
Oh yeah.
yes, she
as
definitely
she's
helped.
beaming?
Yeah, yeah, she implemented that really quickly.
Yeah.
That's why I said that's the importance of a spouse. Because
Oh, for
like I said,
sure.
my wife will be quick to say, "Hey, you just gonna work for like 13 days straight," and I'm like, "What do you?" And the other thing is, and I don't know if you guys deal with. There are times where I enjoy my work so much
Mm.
that it doesn't feel like work.
For
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
And so I guess that's another question I can ask. Is it possible for your because Glory mentioned you have to refill and refresh yourself.
Yeah.
Is it possible for your work
To
To
refill
to
you.
refill.
refresh you? For example, Glory,
Yeah.
you mentioned failures, dealing with failures, but then if you see that success, what
Oh.
wouldn't that you see?
Yeah, no. Literally, you're speaking. Okay, you're speaking to me, my soul right now. Cause like lately, cause we've been. I'm not about to talk about work, but we've been struggling to get what we want, the results we wanted. But then all of a sudden, something just clicked,
Exactly.
and so hence why I'm still working Sundays, but. Like I said, I'm not gonna be there for long. But yeah, no, you are right. It does give me a new spark. But with that new spark, I still know my limits. I still stick to what I've set for myself because just as things start clicking, if I keep working and working and working, I start to make mistakes.
Mm.
and then now I'm back where initially started. So it's just knowing like I have a routine set for myself and just sticking to that because that is my optimized workflow that I know I get good enough results, great results, but I'm not costing myself and my health any damages or anything. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's listen, because as a musician and as a person, like I said, I enjoy it so much. And then the other thing, I found this out during the pandemic, y'all.
Mm,
Y'all, we in 2026, and I lived the whole good amount of life before 2020,
yeah.
and I just found out I had no hobby.
Oh.
You see Windows face? Windows like, bruh.
Like nothing you do
Yo, Window,
on your downtime?
because I just love music so much.
For
To
sure.
to me, music was a hobby, and I had a long conversation with one of my best friends,
Mm,
and she said, "Listen, I don't know how to tell you. Your job cannot be
your
your hobby."
hobby.
And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like I listen to music and like, oh, listening to music is one thing, but I thought the whole creating music was a hobby, and she was like, and so I run it by Tim, and Tim was like, oh yeah, she's right. Like, yeah, and she even told me, you know, you don't have a hobby, and I'm like, who don't have a
Clock
hobby?
it.
So I realized, and it's funny how Wendell mentioned you to help him with that balance.
Uh,
I'm gonna tell you what my girl did for me, y'all.
okay.
Oh yeah.
She went and she bought me a PS5.
Ooh.
Oh, don't start.
I didn't say anything.
Bought me a PS5, and so I and it was at the right time because it just came out during, like, do you know how expensive a PS5 was when the
Yeah.
pandemic was going?
Yeah.
Bought, and I just started gaming, and I realized, yo, this is fun. Like, I feel like I'm doing something that's not related to music.
Mhm.
And she was like, you know what you feel right there? That's refreshment. That's energized. That's like, cause she's like, cause you're doing something
Yeah.
that you enjoy that has nothing to do with your actual work.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
So I guess before we leave, I am curious because I love to know more about my co-host. Wendell, what is your hobby?
My hobby of sports.
Sports? Like
Yes.
you going out there and play?
I mean,
Well,
I
Wendell,
want to
you
get out
still
there
in
more
good
often.
shape.
You know, I mean, I haven't played ball competitively in a long time, but probably playing basketball. Probably going for jogs. Exercising with
Yeah, y'all gonna
wifey.
stop making me feel bad about like having such an active
Going
lifestyle.
trying out different restaurants.
He
You
like to
know.
eat.
Oh yeah. So I have to
Y'all my
compensate.
type of people,
I
y'all.
gotta
This
compensate
my
for that.
family right here. They love to eat this.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah,
For
we like
sure.
to eat.
From the South, man.
What about you, Gloria? What would you
Um,
say is your hobby?
my hobby, I like to go to the gym. I also enjoy like dancing and singing. I love trying out new restaurants like that. It's like if you ever need a restaurant recommendation, because I love trying out different
Really, Gloria,
cuisines.
like that?
Yeah.
No,
Oh
no,
yeah.
no, no.
Literally.
We got to gatekeep a little bit.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Got to
Okay.
gatekeep just
All
a
right.
little
All
bit. The prices
right.
go
Well,
up.
yeah, I'm family, y'all. Y'all could put me on to some stuff.
No, it's just the prices go up when we start giving recommendations, and it's just like
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
balance.
But yeah, no, we love to travel. It doesn't have to be like we love international travel, but sometimes we just go across the state, just have fun, get away from people, just be within nature. That's my thing, and it's become our thing. So
Yeah, I'm still exploring hobbies. Like I said,
yeah.
gaming has become a thing. I've gotten back. Like I've always known how to play chess, but now I've gotten into really
Oh,
playing chess.
it's so hard for me to learn. Like I've tried like 3 times.
To learn chess,
Yeah.
it's easy to learn. It's hard to be good.
Okay.
And then here's the other thing: yard work.
Gotta talk to Baba.
He inspires me. Like, cause sometimes I will hem him up in the hallway. I'm like, hey, what do you think? I got these trees. What do you think? And he's like, make sure if you do this, make sure it contrasts with the tree. And I'm over here like Like, yeah, that's what I'm like. I will be up in somebody's Home Depot, y'all,
Yeah.
in Lowe's, and getting garden stuff or whatever. I don't garden like grow stuff, but tending the lawn, tending bushes and stuff. I don't know why. And trust me, my wife's not complaining about it. So, but people, I think we that's a good wrap for
Yeah. Thank you for
Uh,
listening.
episode 2, man.
episode 2.
Don't
Lord.
forget, subscribe, like, share,
Y'all
share,
see us on every
share.
social media platform, man. Don't act like y'all don't see us, man. Please
Yeah.
subscribe.
Y'all heard my man Window. Don't act
Please.
like y'all don't see us.
Yep.
Don't
Oh
be
man.
funny. Just click it.
Just click the button.
Just click it.
Come on now.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Tell a friend to tell a friend, please.
Yes.
That